Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. Hey friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this Project Life video. I'm working on week number 9 already. I filmed these way in advance. I'm actually pretty good about completing them either like the evening of the end of that week or the Monday after. So it just happens that I'm scheduled a couple weeks behind on the YouTubes, but that's okay. It worked out that way just because of finishing up December daily and other projects. But anywho, this week I'm going with a lot of mixture, like stash busting. So I'm using some cards from Studio Calico's February Documenter kit and then some cards from Ali Edwards. And I'm also mixing in a lot of different embellishments from all over the place. So I'm pretty much going off color for this week, and I decided to go with purples and blues because I really love the way it plays off of some of the colors in the photos that I have chosen for the week. And I was able to pull out these cardstock embellishments from Studio Calico there with all the different gold foiled captions on them. So this week was actually a pretty tough week for me. My health is not great. I was diagnosed with a rare disease related to like my uterus and lady parts, and I've kind of touched on it over the last couple of videos, I think, for Project Life. So I got some more news about my visit, my ultrasound visit the week before. And so this week was a lot of processing and dealing with all of that and, you know, being okay with not being okay and all that kind of stuff. So, but I still had some moments that were happy and some moments that were, you know, just every day. And so I want to document all of that, you know, the good, the bad, and everything in between. There was nothing wrong with the sentiment on that purple card I covered up, but I wanted to include Ali Edwards' handwriting, so this is like a mesh of Studio Calico and Ali Edwards, which are two of my favorite companies to purchase from for this project. So this card says a hobby a day keeps the doldrums away, and that looked perfect right next to the picture of Laurel holding my finished Disney album in my craft room, so I wanted to use that, plus the colors match perfectly. And again, doing the little like black weird little border thing that I like to do. I feel like it kind of grounds the cards. And so you see that I trimmed down these labels, these cardstock labels, because I want them just to act like sort of like a word phrase strip of sorts. And I like to layer them with other things. So this one just says good stuff, and I'm going to use this label here. They are from Studio Calico as well, that I'm going to then journal about having it be abnormally warm this day. I think it was Tuesday, and I told Nora she could stay and play on the playground after school at pickup because it was just so lovely outside. So I snapped this photo of her, and that's what's going on this card. The puffy sticker elements are all Paper Person Shop. They are my favorite, but unfortunately, Paper Person's no longer a thing, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to find some new puffy stickers that I'm obsessed with. If you have any recommendations, let me know. You saw me reference my Hobonichi daily journal there for some help remembering things. It's really great for someone like me who has ADHD because I do forget pretty much everything. So definitely reference that as I'm completing this project. What I'm doing with the chipboard pieces that are all from Ali Edwards is peeling off layers of the chipboard so that they're thinner and will then create less bulk. So that one's just a heart that says fresh air. I had already gone through my chipboard pieces before filming and selected colors and sentiments that made sense for this week. That way I can just sort of sit down and start creating and I don't have to stop. I have like a ready-made selection of embellishments that I know I'm going to use. So this was a 4x6 photo. Unfortunately, on the left side, I used the page protector that has only 3x4 pockets. So I just cut it in half and it's going to stretch out over, you know, the two pockets, and it's just fine. I'm going to adhere the thankful because I'm so thankful for this craft space that can be so grounding for me, especially this week. I literally could not handle life and I just listened to audiobooks and made pen swatch and marker swatch videos, because that's all my brain could deal with. So that was great. What you saw me use was Undo. It is something I discovered from when I was using the Happy Planner. It's this chemical mixture of sorts. It's a magic elixir that takes the adhesive off of your project or your paper, and it doesn't leave any residue behind, and it also magically removes the sticker. So highly recommend if you can purchase it. I got mine on Amazon, and I think it's linked in my Amazon storefront. Pretty sure under planner faves. So I'm just going to journal about how, this is my happy place, and I'm so thankful to have my craft room and the ability to kind of unplug and just sit in here and do what I can do to make it through each day. Sometimes, it's just so emotionally overwhelming for me that that's all I can do. And so I'm thankful for this project to document all of these moments in life that, maybe aren't the best, aren't the happiest, aren't the most comfortable to listen to, but still it is life. And so I want to document it. I don't want to shy away from the hard stuff. So I am creating just like a decorative card here. It's a filler card. I love the cloud design and the colors. That's totally what inspired the whole spreads color scheme. And I just picked this chipboard piece that says the best, just because like the picture of my craft room is so happy. No matter what's happening, I can walk in here and kind of take a deep breath and feel like everything's okay-ish. And so I just embellished the card with one of the big acetate hearts, the puffy star, the chipboard that I peeled down, and I made it a little smaller, then used my corner rounder to round the corners, and that's basically it. The bottom middle photo is from a library event we went to in the middle of the week, and it was called 123 Discovery, where it was like a STEM-based activity, and the kids all made these little gliders and out of various materials and with different items to see which ones would go the farthest and that type of thing. So it was really cute, and after we did that, we decided to meet my husband for one of our favorite places to eat near his job called Simone's, and they do like restaurant week, and in this case they had a special menu, and I was so excited to try it. And so we decided to do our like night out for dinner on Wednesday instead of Friday, because Friday her friend came over for a sleepover anyway and doesn't like that kind of food. So we did that after we had the library event. So it was quite a full day actually. That night at 7:30, my doctor called and talked to me about the findings from the ultrasound and diagnosed me with a rare disease. And that is when things kind of got overwhelming. And so I'm journaling about that. It definitely, that's why I cut out the sentiment on that cardstock label and did all of my journaling there about my feelings around it and sort of what's happening because of that. So back to the middle card here about our Wednesday night before all of that happened. That's a photo of my meal from Simone's, a photo of Nora making one of those gliders, and then the photo underneath is her practicing with one that she finished, blowing on it to see how far it would go at the library. And the card to the right of it with the hearts was actually a 4x6 card, I think, or a 6x8, I can't remember, since now the documenter kits are different from Studio Calico, so I trimmed it down, and I'm going to use that just for a space to do some more decorating and embellishing. This glue is awesome, by the way. It's from Aleene's. It's clear gel tacky glue, and I've linked that in my storefront too because I love it, and it's doesn't really get clogged. It's easy to use. It does come in a bigger container, but I feel like I just like the way this is working, and it has a nice little pointy tip as well. And I think sometimes when you get the bigger containers, they leak more. And what if the thing breaks and then you're just, then you're screwed. So I like this little tiny bottle. Anyhow, I am just adding a little label to do some journaling about the picture of Nora with her little creation there from the library. She actually had a lot of fun. She didn't want to leave, which was kind of neat. I'm like, see, get you away from your screen, and who knows the fun you can have. In this case, I decided to leave the label pretty large so I could just add a little caption about restaurant week and my delicious meal. It was like a salmon with lemon dill sauce, grilled salmon, and then asparagus with couscous, or not couscous, quinoa. It was delicious. It also, like, when there's restaurant week, you get to choose, like, you know, your first course, your second course, third course. I couldn't eat dessert because all of it was stuff I had allergies to, but it was totally fine. It was delicious. I was super full from dinner. So this is, I'm going to layer this little AM PM tag that I cut down and just decide to cover up the AM PM part with this phrase that says, listening. And then I'm going to create my own little journaling card here. So I take my Zig Clean color dot marker, and I use it to add little bullets, and that way I can make a list of all the different things that I'm listening to, this week particularly. So I love that I use that to create a lens for journaling and documenting from a slightly different perspective the experiences that we had this week. So I wrote that I'm listening to Elise from Bar Blend because I started working out again for the first time since, I don't know, before the hives reaction thing that almost killed me back in December. So that's a huge part of the week, and I was glad I was able to get that documented. Listening to my therapist guide me through and navigate these complex emotions regarding my new diagnoses. Nat is my therapist. Listening to Nora's 1 to 2 hour tantrums at night. Listening to an audiobook. Right at that moment, I was listening to The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. And then I'm just going to add my little border and a few puffy stickers, and that's going to be it for Alrighty, so moving on to the right side of the page, I'm using these Alphas Are Awesome stamps from Ali Edwards. I love these distressed alphas, and I think they're a great size for a title card. They're nice and big, and yeah, I just really like this font. So I'm going to spell out week 9. Again, I'm still, for whatever reason, I'm on this like streak where I'm into spelling out the number for the week. But spelling out like the whole word. So instead of putting the number 9, I like to spell it out. I don't know why. I don't know what that's all about. It is what it is. It works out because 9 is such a short word anyway, and I think it looks nice. So this 4x6 card is from an older Ali Edwards story kit. I don't know which one, so I'm sorry. But yeah, love that I get to just stash bust this week. Which reminds me, I'm actually thinking of canceling my story kit. Don't come at me, not because I don't love it, because I do. I love Ali Edwards stuff, but I don't document enough scrapbook projects to justify spending all the money on all the things. Hopefully that makes sense. So I would still get the Stories by the Month kits, which honestly are freaking amazing, and plenty of elements included in that kit to cover my Project Life spreads. But I also subscribe to Studio Calico, so it's like too much product, you know what I mean? And now that I have my new obsession with Hobonichi everything, and actually I just ordered some goodies from the Laurel Denise spring release, so I will be adding in other items too that I will need to then shift my funds towards those projects. So you'll have to stay tuned. All right, so I'm finishing up this title card here. All I did was add a chipboard piece, label, so that I could put the days for the dates in for this week, and then a couple of those acetate hearts, and then the puffy stickers, and then a little border. I'm going to take a minute here just to let you know I'm thinking of starting a Patreon where a lot of the content that I'm sharing will actually be moved to that platform. This will not be one of them. I will continue to share Project Life videos on my main YouTube channel, but I am thinking of switching things so that I can provide those to Patreon and hopefully gain a little bit more income that way, because it is so much work and I value myself and my time, and it's a lot. So I would like to, be reimbursed for it, because why not? Who wouldn't want to be, right? But it would be a great way for me to sort of contribute a little bit more to, at least if nothing, the money I'm spending on my craft items each month. I don't expect it to make a ton of money or anything or be like lucrative. I will still be a substitute teacher and all that kind of stuff, but especially with these health issues, I won't be able to substitute teach for a little bit too. And so it kind of got me thinking, and I've considered it in the past. I haven't grown much. I don't have like a zillion followers, so it may not be something that I can do sustainably. But I think I might give it a try. So I would love to know in the comments if you'd be interested in supporting me on Patreon. I would have probably 2 or 3 different tiers, so different financial options per month for being a Patreon or a patron of ChappyPlans. So I would love to know your thoughts, what you would like to see, what kind of things you'd like to do over on that type of platform. I think it could be great. I think it'll be a wonderful way to get to know you guys more and create just a more intimate community. And that's really, why I do this. I love sharing content with all of you, and like the regulars who comment on all my videos and stuff like that. I feel like, even if you don't and you support me, but you want to get to know me a little better, or we can have some more conversations and get to know one another, I would love for that. Love that for us. Anywho, back to what I'm doing. What am I doing? Who knows? I just added a little like sweet dreams sentiment with a little chipboard kitty to the photo of Smokey and Jeeves sleeping on Nora's bed. It's funny how we think Smokey wants to like be friends with Jeeves, but Jeeves is just like this grumpy old man who doesn't really want to be friends. And so Smokey, like by being friends, he's a young male, wants to attack and all that kind of stuff. And Jeeves just growls and they fight and it's crazy. But then when Jeeves will go find somewhere to sleep, Smokey will join him later, but knows not to get close enough to him to disturb the grumpy old man. This flip up is for Friday. I was at the school for Read Across America Day, and I was able to capture a picture of some of Nora's friends doing their Read Across America activity. All the classes decorate their doors based on a book theme, and the kids go around and figure out what it is. So I also had to set up for the Scholastic Book Fair, which is happening the week after, and so I'm journaling about all those things. And then instead of the sticky notes, I decided to cover up the kids' faces whose parents I don't know and just didn't want to risk showing, with a chipboard piece that said currently exploring, because that's what they were doing. They were exploring all the different doors. This middle card is going to be another decorative filler card. Also that picture I decorated of Smokey looking out the front window. It was raining a ton, so I took a picture of that and how he was scaling the windowsill. It was so funny. And I love that currently card from an older, I think it's from this hobby story kit. And then this card is just a decoration. I chose the everyday label and then staple one of the cloud acetate hearts. It's more of a purpley blue, like a indigo, I guess. I don't know. And then this Good Vibes chipboard piece, and then a few other little things, and then that's going to be it for this little decorative card / placeholder. And then the picture of, there's going to be 3 flip ups on this side of the page. So the one of the one of Smokey and then the kids at school, and then this one of Nora and Fiona, who they're working on a talent show act together. So Friday after school, she came over to the house. They had a sleepover. This picture is from Saturday morning. They just come in from being on the trampoline, and they were playing Taco vs. Burrito. And then the picture of the front of on the front of this flip up was during the movie we watched. We rented Trolls Band Together, which is what they're doing, their dance from a song from that movie. And my husband made like 3 different kinds of popcorn, which was delicious, and we devoured. So I did some journaling about that and about all the things they did together over, the course of Friday night sleepover and Saturday night. Fiona ended up staying until like 4 o'clock. So they never want to leave, which is really sweet. The two of them, they play so well together. So I'm journaling about all those things, and that flip up card is just an extra Studio Calico card. I took this chipboard piece, which looks like it was made for this week's smorgasbord of stash items, doesn't it? Like the purple, the blue, the teal, and it's like watercolor background. It's lovely. It just says chill out, which I think is hilarious because they were crazy, so goofy. So I love that I used the chipboard on that photo. And then this card is another Allie Edwards card for my stash that says, in the presence of nature, a wild delight runs through the sun in spite of real sorrows. Or runs through man in spite of real sorrows, which captured the sentiment for this week so well, just based on all of my health issues and the things that I'm dealing with emotionally that are related to that. New diagnoses and decisions that I was facing and all of that. I've since had a lot of relief and clarity, but this week was very, very tough. So I am going to use this journaling card to take an opportunity to talk about all of those things and document it because, like I said, I want it kept in here, and someday when I'm gone, Nora can look back and remember what was going on, and maybe she'll be like, wow, my mom did all these things. She, ran the book fair and came in for Read Across America Day and helped out with that, and she let me have a sleepover and all this, but in the meantime, she was experiencing this stuff. Like someday, I'm telling myself she'll appreciate it. But for now, it is what it is. It's just part of life, and to be 8 and not have to worry about all these things, which is great. I want that for her. So I just cut down that label from Studio Calico that said this happened, and then this tag from Allie Edwards Stories by the Month kit from I think February or January says not a great moment, and so that's what I'm going to journal about on this card. And then the last flip up is this photo of my husband playing the guitar and leading worship at church, which is a first for him in maybe ever. And he hasn't, at our church anyway, not leading worship period, but at our church, this was the first time because our current worship pastor is kind of taking a little month off to, reset and all that kind of stuff, and just have like a mini sabbatical, if you will. So, and then underneath it is a picture of one of my swatch pages that I took because like I said, I had been swatching all week long and listening to audiobooks. So I am just journaling on the underside about all the crafty things I've been working on all week, finishing my Disney album, doing the swatching, playing in my Hobonichi and my media journal, and just my obsession with the Tomoe River paper. And then on the front of the card, I'm going to staple this big blue heart over the top, which is nice because it kind of blocks out how dark that photo is. And then add a little tiny label, layer this one that says, I think it says yes. Oh, yay. And a couple puffy stickers and just label it, that Matt got to lead worship and how great it was seeing him up there in his element. But that's going to be it for week 9. It was a lot. There was a lot to document, hence the 3 flip ups, and all the journaling that I needed to do. And like I've shared before, this is my main Scrappy project, so I do like to make sure I get all the details included each week. Thanks again for joining me for the stash busting process video for week 9. I love the way it turned out. I hope you guys enjoy these real-time close-ups of the tons of journaling that I captured in this side of the spread. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you're not. Hit that bell so you don't miss my content. Thank you so much for being here, friends. Take care of yourselves, and remember that